I've added once again the key elements for the board in the year 2016 and carrying on into 2017 as being the challenge we have of trying to support and grow the partnership we currently have with our existing schools, yet at the same time both leading and developing new initiatives and ventures to grow and develop innovative practice that will become the norm for education in the future. The risk I see for the board and our executive is to ensure that we don't kill the golden goose, being the schools that have got us to where we are on one hand, yet on the other hand, we need to accept that if we don't continue to lead and innovate, then we won't be of value to those initial learners anyway. And I believe that we have a responsibility to all for the future. This situation creates both a financial dilemma of trying to fund new initiatives and also a personal dilemma of trying to manage the workload of our current executive in particular. And many of those staff are already overcommitted. Having said that, our staff, the executive and board, are our greatest asset, and they need to be acknowledged for the huge amount of time and energy that they've put in to ensure that we remain an exciting and groundbreaking organisation. Without the labour of love mentality of all involved in the organisation, I often wonder what position we would be. And so by that I mean I'd like to acknowledge all the work and energy that goes in from the executive in particular, but also the board to make us in the current strong position we're in. In terms of personnel, we were very sad to lose Stephen Hicks, who through commitments, work commitments and had change in direction. Stephen, who's a partner at Paulson Hicks, has resigned. Stephen brought us a very strong legal and financial perspective in particular, and we're now in a position where we've got a very strong organisational structure with policies and procedures in place to enable future growth seamlessly. And although we were all involved in these processes, Stephen was a major player in getting those up and running. The process for Stephen's replacement and for further co-option onto the board is currently underway. I'm delighted to say that through the board's cyclical process for replacing its members, Bill's position came up for re-election this year, and he was re-elected unopposed for another term. And I'm sure that had nothing to do with the apathy out there. I'm sure it's his qualities that people were realising they wouldn't want to stand against. I'll take my tongue out of my cheek now and say the board's also looking at its own composition and what we might need in the months and the years ahead. And we're looking at quite a strong process at the moment for further co-option. And we're also going to look at our own office bearers structures for the future following the AGM. And one of those will be me giving other members of the board an opportunity to lead it. The executive team have continued to work tirelessly, manage an extremely diverse operation, yet they all still find the time to continue keeping the organisation as a national leader in networked education. I'd like to also acknowledge the other wider contributors to NetNZ, such as the e-teachers, the EDs, and the people that support it. And they continue to play a huge role in giving many of our online students a level of success and satisfaction that may not have been achieved in a conventional learning environment. And the most pleasing thing about this for me is that the research is already showing that those students that take online classes are often their most successful subjects. Now, there could be other reasons for that, but that's a fact that students who do online classes tend to do particularly well in their exams. Continuing to provide these successful options and continuing to lead the country into seeing the future of online learning is the immediate and ongoing goal for all the executive and board members of NetNZ. And I feel privileged to have been a part of and to continue being a part of that. So that's my annual report for 2016.